to our Expert Perspective series, where we showcase insights from leading experts in complex product, systems, and software development. Covering industries from medical devices to aerospace and defense, we feature thought leaders who are shaping the future in their fields. I'm Kenzie, your host, and today I'm excited to welcome Jeremy Weiss, the director of the insurance consulting group at Alpha Financial Markets Consulting. With more than 10 years of experience, Jeremy works with multiple insurtech and technology organizations to develop their products to meet the needs of insurance carriers. He's also very active in the AI space, imagining what the future of insurance looks like with AI. Joining Jeremy is Kevin Andrzejewski, Jama Software's own general manager. Kevin leverages more than a decade of experience in requirements and digital transformation to aid customers looking to modernize and transform their product development processes. We hope you enjoy this conversation on trends and insights that they're seeing in the insurance industry. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome Jeremy and Kevin.
So thanks, Kenzie. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. My name is Kevin Andrzejewski. I'm the general manager for the finance and insurance space here at Jama Software. I've been with Jama for 11 and a half years and have had the pleasure of working with many of our customers in this space. Joining me today is Jeremy Weiss from Alpha FMC. Jeremy, if you would introduce yourself.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Kevin. Jeremy Weiss, director here at Alpha FMC. I lead our front office consulting practice, so product pricing, underwriting, as well as distribution, sales, and marketing. A variety of management consulting work, both in the technology space as well as the business consulting space, but spend the majority of my time really at the intersection of those two.
Thanks, Jeremy. So for today's discussion, and as part of our Experts Perspective series, we want to have an in-depth discussion around trends and insights in the insurance industry. And Jeremy, before we kind of dive too deep into some of the things that you're seeing, could you talk a little bit about the role of product management within the insurance space? Like, what does that mean to folks in the insurance world?
Yeah, great question. I would say there's a number of definitions of how we think about product. There's certainly the insurance product side, that is the product, filed product in most cases, that's being sold in the market that provides the coverage that folks are seeking with insurance. And then there's other product definitions like an internal built product, et cetera. But for today, I think it's really about that insurance product. That's really that insuring vehicle. That is the coverages and sub-coverages that make up the entirety of what's being protected under the insurance, at least in property and casualty, but very similar in the life space with, protecting the human life, et cetera.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And when you look across the industry and as you're interacting with, the various clients that you're seeing, are you seeing any trends as far as kind of some of the challenges that are consistent across, different insurers in the space?
We built product for, over 100 years, it seems, at this point. So we've been doing it the same way for a while. Regulatory processes, although they've started a bit to come into a new modern age, it's been a bit slow. When I look at trends, I think more organizations today than even 2 years ago are more focused on the product management function. And they're really saying, how do I enable product into the future to be able to support the business better? How can I transform my products to better meet customer expectations? How can I do that more quickly? How can I shorten what is often a 6 to 12 plus month cycle of ideation of a product to actually getting something filed and in the market? So companies are really starting to see the opportunity there to say, how do I be more efficient? How do I add tooling in that space? And product largely has been an area that hasn't had a lot of investment in, as long as I can remember. There haven't been massive product management overhaul projects at really any of the clients that I worked heavily with.
Yeah, I would agree. I think from our perspective, we see a lot of investment in the, say, software development side of product, but not necessarily in the product management space. And it seems to be a place where has been less technology investment in the past. So not surprising to see that you're seeing folks looking at that as an area for ways to improve. What are some of the things that you've seen people try to do to kind of help with the inefficiencies in this space?
Yeah, it's interesting. So, gosh, 10 years ago or so, when we started to talk a bit about Agile within an IT development, we talk about this concept of a product, right? And building that minimum viable product and taking it to market. And we thought of it in that context more as like a physical cardboard box that had a package in it. That was the product. I see in the product management space for insurance product, we're starting to think about it in a bit more of those terms. So think about it a bit as the supply chain elements, right? So what are all those pieces and component parts that help us get to that ultimate end result? So really looking at it more of a factory floor type model. What are all of the activities that need to be built into that product? Who does them? How do they happen? How long do they take? Where is their efficiency to be gained? What are the most important elements of that? What do we maybe do today that we don't need to do tomorrow? So thinking about it in that factory model of how do I churn through product development more quickly to get to market, or at least to get to the regulatory side. That filings process, maybe I have a little less ability to influence how quickly that happens. I'm working with state regulators, et cetera, but at least I can get that kind of internal product making piece done and get to that regulatory start. So I see folks really focused on what are the opportunities, kind of looking internally. And when I say product management in a lot of organizations, that doesn't really mean one specific product organization. Certainly, there are product managers that are accountable for maybe ideating or building the product, maybe managing the performance of the product, but you also have legal and compliance and IT and a variety underwriting and a variety of other stakeholders really in the mix on what product management means, which adds to that complexity. So really clearly defining what those roles are, what the underlying requirements are that make up a product, how it should function, how it should function in a system, how the filing should be prepared. All of that kind of makes up that overall product management factory model. And we see companies starting to take a deeper look at that, look at tooling that can help to support streamlining that model and getting all of those parties, those 6, 7, 8 parties that I talked about, to one cohesive understanding and definition for that source of truth.